Today I'm checking out the new Yoga Slim 7 Pro X, a premium laptop that aims to be a new benchmark in the mobile market for content creation. Now, right off the bat, this device is actually called the Lenovo Slim 7 Pro X inside of North America, for some reason I'm unaware of, but apart from the name change, it's the exact same product regardless of where you find it. Anyway, several weeks ago, Lenovo asked if I wanted to take a look at this laptop, and you guys can imagine my hesitation at first. I was like, what do you mean this doesn't crush 4K gaming and have dual kidneys and SLI? But then I thought that I kind of like what this laptop represents, which is the freedom for creativity and self-expression. This really hits home for me, because in a way I've always been a content creator. When I was a kid, I would use the family camcorder to make videos of my G.I. Joes and Transformers going to war, and in high school I'd make vlogs of my friends and I being morons. But I'm also a millennial who grew up in a time before social media, so I never really had a platform to share any of the content that I made. In hindsight, that's probably for the best, but the point here is that things are different now. Anyone in the world can create anything from anywhere and share it with anyone at any time, and the desire to do so has never been greater. I know so many of you have your own content creation thing that you're really into or want to pursue as a hobby or even a career. So if just me talking about this product inspires even one of you to chase your passion and creativity in some way, then I'll be glad I did. And on a side note, while this is not a gaming-focused laptop, it does feature an RTX 3050 that we'll talk more about later. Now, since the unit I received is actually an engineering sample that may not reflect full performance of the final retail product, today I'm going to give you guys a high-level overview of the laptop and my first impressions of it before we do a performance deep dive in a follow-up video. For starters, the brand's mantra behind Yoga Slim is that these are devices where performance and mobility collide. It's about having the ability to create freely with the power and flexibility required for the job. The Yoga line used to be synonymous with convertibles and two-in-one devices, but that's no longer the case. This is purely a clamshell laptop designed in a more widely adopted form factor, and the Yoga name has since become associated with premium products, which this laptop claims to be. Under the hood, my unit sports an AMD Ryzen 7 6800HS Creator Edition with 8 cores, 16 threads, and a boost clock up to 4.7 GHz, although the laptop can be configured with up to a Ryzen 9 6900HS. It features up to 32 gigs of dual-channel DDR5 memory at 6400 speed, a 1TB PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD from Tier 1 manufacturers like Samsung and WD, and an Nvidia GeForce RTX 3050 with 4 gigs of VRAM. I find these specs pretty intriguing, particularly the Ryzen 6000 series chip, because it's built on AMD's latest Zen 3 Plus architecture that's been designed for mobile devices, which includes so many refinements over Zen 3 that I'm very curious to see what it can do for things like encoding and streaming. It'll also be interesting to test the capabilities of the RTX 3050 for gaming and productivity workloads. And the fact that the RTX 3050 here is Nvidia Studio certified is already a great sign for creators who are leveraging GPU accelerated rendering, since it means that the GPU, as it's configured in this laptop, meets Nvidia's requirements to run their Studio stack of specialized SDKs and dedicated studio drivers in order to optimize the performance and reliability when working in creative applications like Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Blender, SolidWorks, and so many more. With flexibility in mind, the Yoga Slim supposedly has excellent battery life and comes equipped with a 70 watt-hour battery. While high-end gaming laptops are typically well-equipped for content creation, their inability to last more than 30 minutes without a charging cable has burned me many times, so it'll be refreshing to see what kind of battery life this laptop delivers in the follow-up video. Unique to the laptop is the custom performance tuning that's made up by a heap of software and hardware optimizations known as Lenovo X-Power. A number of technologies have been rigorously fine-tuned to squeeze as much performance out of the device as possible. This includes leaps in thermal design power, turbo matrix, software scenario tuning, and high-end hardware selection. The benefits of X-Power are vast, but some standouts are the enhanced cooling techniques that have been implemented to avoid throttling, optimized tuning for overclocking the GPU and VRAM, and dynamically controlling power delivery between the CPU and GPU, so whichever component your task relies more heavily on automatically receives more power for peak performance. In a nutshell, you can think of X-Power as a compelling laundry list of optimizations that improves the end-user experience in nearly every way. As for the physical laptop itself, I'll start with the chassis and save my favorite physical feature for last. The body is super thin and compact, but in my opinion, it's a little heavier than it looks. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, this helps the device stay planted on the desk, and the heft makes it feel like a premium product much in the same way that it does for a custom mechanical keyboard, for example. That being said, it's more than light enough to travel with comfortably, and from a convenience standpoint for on-the-go use, I definitely see myself reaching for this before any of my gaming laptops, even the so-called slim ones. The Yoga Slim also features a comfort edge design, with rounded edges around the chassis for improved ergonomics when typing. Sure, the sharp edges of my old Razer laptop looked cool, but the novelty wore off quickly once it felt like the edges were trying to saw off my hands. I can confirm the Comfort Edge design achieves its goal here, while also contributing to the laptop's sleek appearance. It's a fairly minimalistic design that doesn't scream for attention, but it still looks clean and modern for the times. The white backlit keys are surprisingly tactile with linear travel that isn't too shallow and just enough resistance to help reduce typos. While I usually bring a wireless mouse with me anytime I'm on the go with a laptop, the trackpad here is rock solid. Tracking, tapping, and gestures have been perfectly precise and responsive so far. I'm kind of impressed with the built-in Harman speakers. Apart from lacking a substantial amount of bass, as most laptops do, the mids and highs are crystal clear with zero distortion at max volume. They also get loud enough to fill a large room and feature Dolby Atmos audio. I/O on the device includes two USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, two USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C 10 gigabit per second ports supporting DisplayPort 1.4a Alt mode, and Power Delivery 3.0 for power brick charging. There's a power button, combo audio jack, and a toggle switch for enabling and disabling the Full HD 1080p webcam. In my opinion, this is a healthy amount of I/O speed and functionality for a laptop this portable. My favorite physical aspect of the Yoga Slim, however, is the display. Lenovo refers to the screen on this laptop as a PureSight display, which is the brand standard for what they consider a premium display. In order to meet this standard, some of the criteria these displays require at minimum include specs like having 220 pixels per inch, a 90Hz refresh rate LCD, 10-bit color depth, Dolby Vision, and TUV hardware low blue light. While the displays between Yoga Slim models vary, mine features a 14.5-inch screen, a 16:10 aspect ratio with a 3K resolution of 3072x1920, a PureSight IPS panel at 120 Hz, 400 nits, and G-Sync. It also features 100% sRGB with 100% color volume, and can be configured with touch functionality or a glass screen at purchase. It's a beautifully sharp and vivid display that I wasn't expecting the first time I popped the lid. As a video editor, I'm extremely picky when it comes to which displays I'll work on when image quality and color correction is involved, but this one passes with flying colors. No pun intended. Games look and feel fantastic due to the sharpness, color accuracy, high refresh rate, and adaptive sync. But having a great display like this one is arguably more critical for content creation, to ensure that your work looks its absolute best before clicking publish, and I think Lenovo really kills it in this department. From what I've seen so far, the Yoga Slim 7 Pro X appears to have a ton of potential for content creators by offering a robust set of specs, optimizations, and features. It offers a lot, but what it actually delivers remains to be seen, so I'm staying cautiously optimistic until I can properly test and benchmark the product later this month. As you guys know, I don't typically do first impressions or divide up this type of content into multiple videos, but I would like to use it as an opportunity to ask those of you who are content creators, what would you use this laptop for if you had one? Or more importantly, what kind of test can I run that would be most relevant to you? I'll be reading your comments closely. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this one. Toss a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more tech content coming soon, and I will see you guys in the next video.